I have stories for you.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I want to circle back around about after you tell us the story about what freedom means, because I don't think anyone knows what freedom means until you experience it. Until you accidentally stumble across it, you're like, what the fuck is this I'm feeling? But sorry, go ahead.
So anyways, on the story for today, this is kind of funny. So
termites in your pegboard.
So a couple of weeks ago, Sam and I are sitting on the tarmac waiting to take off, and I get an email notification. It says your bank account is overdrafted, and I'm like,
oh no.
I'm like, that can't be right. Like, I've never used, and it's a business checking account for one of my businesses, and I'm like, that can't be right. I've never used that debit card. Like, I just opened the account, I don't know, 2 months ago. I've never spent money out of this account. And so anyways, I look at it, and it's an overdraft fee because I'm overdrafted. And so I look it up, and my account is negative. I took a screenshot of it because I've been on the phone all day for this. Negative $672,818.
Oh, did your butthole just pucker?
Dude,
were you just tripping?
I freaked out. And I'm like, this has to be a mistake. Or like, did someone hack my bank account? So I'm freaking the fuck out. Dude, we're on the tarmac. As soon as I see this, as soon as I log into my bank account, the plane starts going and takes off. And I'm like, oh no.
Worst flight of your life.
I'm in the air like 4 hours. By the time I land, it's midnight. I don't sleep a wink. I call the next morning. I'm like, something happened. Like clearly this wasn't me. And they're like, oh no, it's just an error. Like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
They're talking to me like I'm the idiot of like, what are you freaking out about? Like, this isn't anything. Dude, that was 17 days ago. It's still not resolved. Like, I have called. I am trying to figure this out. Like, dude.
What bank?
Bank of America. I opened 3 accounts with them. I opened a personal checking and 2 business accounts. And so now there's that huge negative balance on the one account, which is a business account. I can't pay anyone out of it. I can't get the money out. Everything's frozen. So I've had no less than a half dozen calls with them, all for like an hour a piece. Today was 90 minutes. The people are just reading off a script. They will not talk to you like a normal person. And I'm like, what steps do I need to do? Like, who do I need to talk to? What do I need to do to get this?
Did you say 672,000 before we go any further?
Dude.
Did he say that? Oh my! How? What?
So dude, why have you gone into a branch? Maybe you should go into a branch and speak to.
I tried when I was in Minnesota. Really? I tried. Yeah. Yeah.
And what happened? It was you couldn't get in because there was a riot out front.
No, they just look at you like, oh, don't worry, it'll get cleaned up. So it got froze.
What did they say happened, Matt? What did they say happened?
So they're investigating a deposit, and I'm like, what is there to investigate? Like, it was a deposit, and yeah, they're like, oh yeah, you'll get a notification when the investigation's done, or they're like validating a deposit. And I'm like, what the fuck is there to validate? Like,
but it's a withdrawal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why is this your error code? But anyways, so the account's frozen. I have more payments that I need to put in, but I've like held all payments. I'm like, do not put money into this account because it's frozen.
Yeah.
I can't pull money out of it. So it got frozen on June 8th.
Well, you don't have any money to pull out of it. It's negative $672,000.
Bro, I had to pay taxes on June 15th.
You can't pull any money. You can't pull money out of negative account.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, dude, I can't pay rent. I can't pay employees. I couldn't pay my taxes. I had to pay out of my personal account to cover my business. I'm like, dude,
you can do an extension on taxes.
Yeah,
till October.
I almost don't like Josh hearing this story. His solutions aren't making me feel better. He sounds like you're talking to your mom or some shit. It's like stuff like your mom says.
But dude, you get an extension on your taxes. I do it every year.
Yeah, I know. No, I know I can, but it's like,
Yeah, no, hey,
what in the world? Like,
I'm also not the one with a negative $672,000.
Yeah, it's like you have no it's like you have no compassion.
I have no
Josh.
empathy.
It's like,
None.
But like, dude, talking like, oh my, like the people I've talked to, like the first person I talked to today from Bank of America, clearly working from home. And every time her baby or kid would start screaming, she'd be like, oh, my manager needs something, and put me on hold. And I'm like, this is unbelievable.
This sounds like a nightmare, bro.
The next,
hey, I know she's the one who took $672,000 out of your account. I swear to
dude,
God.
the next guy I talked to, I was on the phone with him for 60 minutes. And every other time they're like, hey, we'll get this cleared up. We'll send you an email when it's verified, whatever they're doing. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Hang up. And today he kept giving me the same thing. Like, I'm like, what can I do? And he's like, we just need to wait. I'm like, nope, not acceptable. It's been 17 days. Like, my account's froze. And dude, an hour of just running in circles until he finally broke, just stopped reading off the script, because they're reading lines off a script. And finally I was like, nope, not accepting this answer. Who do I need to talk to? What do I need to do? He finally put me in touch with the manager. Who knows? Judging by how the first phone call went, it was probably just this dude's roommate that he was like, oh my God, here, take the phone.
It was his roommate.
Dude, hey, man, I don't want to talk to this guy anymore. You talk to him.
So anyways, and then I finally just had enough. I was like, all right, listen. I was like, I will drop this. I was like, cut me 3 certified checks, 1 for each of the accounts, and I'm closing all these accounts. And dude, like, they took a long time to get set up in terms of like getting checks, getting my debit cards, getting the EINs for the business account, all this stuff. I'm like, fuck it. I'm taking a loss. Like, just send me certified checks and I'll close all 3 accounts and I will go anywhere else. And like, nope, can't do that. I was like, what? What do you mean you can't do that? They're like, the account's frozen. You can't have your money. I was like, so now I'm stuck. So that was my day.
Hey,
that was my day today.
What is the question you're going to finally ask them that's going to, like...
There's nothing I can ask. Like, I've gone... These guys are robots. They do not break off the script.
Have you tried this? Hey, what would you do if you went to your account?
I was like, hey, man.
And what did they say?
I was like, I have employees to pay. I have rent to pay. I have, like, all these things.
What solution do you have for me?
What should I do? And they're just like... Yeah. We'll notify you when it's all cleared up. Yep.
So they're saying that checks that have gone in, just that, and this is the reason why it's negative $672,000, is because checks have gone in and they like are like basically like holding it until it clears or something like that. Is that kind of what?
No, it was an electronic. It was a wire. It was a wire that went in. So I don't even know what they're checking. I asked them, I'm like, what? Like, it's not fraud. Like, I'm telling you, like.
But you've never used the account. You put $100 in this account, and then it was just sitting there. And then you're saying you were sitting on an airplane. It was just an idle account.
I've had money going in. I've never used the debit card. I've never written checks.
So it's just an account that's been so you put $100 in there 6 times. So there should be $600 in there. It's nothing that you ever pay out of. And now all of a sudden it's negative 672,000. Yeah, you should just go put a gun in your mouth. Just go open your safe and fucking, what the fuck?
Dude, bananas. And then even being like, hey, I'm cool. Like, just cut me a certified check for what's in the account and I'll move on. And I'll go open another bank account. They're like, nope, can't have it. And it's not a small.
Did you tell them you do 1,000 thrusters in 24 hours with 135 pounds if they fucking cleared your account? Like, what the fuck?
Dude. So that's what I've been dealing with. And then on top of it, the other business account.
You just totally ruined my whole image of how your life is. Thanks for fucking up my fucking.
And the cherry on top,
biased opinion.
I have another business that's for real estate, and I'm buying a piece of real estate for like an income property. And I need to fund that account so that when I go to the closing, I can pay for it under my business name. And now I'm like, dude, I'm not wiring money into that account. What are you, insane? Like, I'll have another chunk of change tied up.
Well, dude, if you wired the $50,000 that it's going to take to buy that piece of property that Josh has in Cookeville from him, then your account would have 622,000 negative 622,000 in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why are you buying? Are you buying that land from Josh? That's what I heard. That's the rumor.
Yeah,
on the
man,
street.
totally. Yeah,
there it is. There's the rumor.
But anyways, besides
Josh, are you raising your donkeys on that property?
Yeah, man, for sure.
That's what I
but
heard.
besides this banking issue, yes, my life is just all daisies. It's glorious.
Hey, is that that would really so that is really bothering you? Like that's 17 days and it pops in your head every 30 minutes. Right?
Yeah, because I'm trying to like run efficiently, and it's difficult for me because I've gone so many years now where I'm the puppet master of everything in my life. You know, I want to be better at CrossFit. I go work harder. You know, that's
Josh and I understand that relationship.
That's the barrier
with you.
of entry of like, if I'm the only one in the way of the things I want to do. And then the little moments that I'm dependent on someone else, it's either Sammy or O'Keefe, and they're right on board with me. They work just as hard. They're just as dedicated. You know, they have their shit together. But now I'm talking to someone that they're, customer service for a bank. Nobody calling customer service is in a good mood, you know? So they're just dealing with the shit day in, day out. Like the call that I had this morning, the first person I talked to.
It's like having Kermit the Frog in charge of your life. This part of your life is so out of your control, and yet the guy who you're asking for help is a fucking just like, he has no power. Like, he has no power. He has no power.
I'm asking someone that's working customer service from home with a kid running around to please care about my issue.
Your $600,000 debt. Hey, it reminds me of like your parents are gone and you spill some bong water on the white carpet and you clean it and you think you're in the clear, and then 20 minutes later the stain's back, and no matter how much stain remover you put on, you put so much stain remover on it that now it's got a bleach spot on it, and it just gets worse and worse.
That's the
like,
problem we can all relate with.
Yes.
Like, I don't think that's just, I don't remember having that problem. Maybe like beer cap. Maybe like after throwing a party at your parents' house and like there's like, you think you picked up all the beer caps and then, you know, there's definitely still 3 underneath the couch or like somewhere or in the bathroom trash can or something stupid.
And they find them. Or they find it, you have this huge party, you perfectly cleaned up, and then they find a cigarette butt, and you're like, and you're thinking the whole time, no one was smoking at that fucking party. How the fuck is there a cigarette butt in the bathroom?
Right. Yep.